start with the question whether or not Kweku would go back or Kweku would want to continue his investigative work on Net2 TV. I must say it's early days yet to, as it were, come to terms of whether or not I would want to go back to that television station to work with. But however, may I say that I don't hold any grudge to my big brother or a father, Kennedy Kwame Akompreko Japan. I don't hold any grudge to him, no. And so I want people to, as it were, to demystify that aspect of whether some feel that I hold grudge to him, no. We are all human beings. Nobody knows where each one of us can fall at the left or right. Depends on who is standing at that very material moment. And it becomes very crucial to, as it were, say, let's hold the olive branch, or both of us can decide to eat a humble pie. But that, in doing so, may also not necessarily warrant that I have to go to Net2 TV. That's, for me, is early days yet.
Okay. But personally, you are open to a reconciliation with because you guys were a tag team, man. You were tight.
Yes. Yes. I want to say this clear to viewers, millions here and around the world, that I don't hold any grudge to him. I mean, and I do also know that at this time, he might have come to terms with the reality that whatever that he did, he might have seen some mistakes out of this, because primarily or fundamentally, it's not as the way he was told, and he took it to be that of Kweku has gone to insult a high-profile personality or something. So I'm sure by now he has, revised his nose one way or the other. Yeah. Okay,
great. I just wanted to clarify that, and let's move on, because I know that you've been doing a lot of investigative stuff. One thing that I know that you did was some sort of investigation into this Galamsey thing. And actually, people were looking forward to seeing what you uncovered on the Galamsey thing. Can you give me a little bit about what happened with that, and then we can move on to other issues?
Great. Kezam, before I answer that question, permit me to, because I know this show is being viewed by high-profile persons, including the president. And I want to send a message to Mr. President about something that is going on. And may I say, his office is allegedly been accused of something. And again, it is something that borders on his administration.
What did he be accused of? He said accused of something. What is
I mean, a subset of the office of the presidency is being accused of something. And I'll quickly whisper to the president through this program that a group of people, call them a syndicator group, who apparently are using the presidency, as it were, to siphon money or some sort. Here's some very serious. There are some contractors who have won big time contracts in real estate to build houses for Ghanaians. And they managed to wire money through their partners. And these monies have come situated at the central bank. And there are some syndicates at the central bank, together with some high-ranking government officials, are sitting on this money. And they use all kinds of tactics by saying, oh, you didn't go through the financial regulation, it's a money laundering, blah, blah, blah. And then they just take the money. And we are not talking about small money, huge sums of money. Somebody's 49 million euros is at the central bank and somebody is sitting on it. A high-profile government official who has been accused.
Yeah, let me get this a bit clear. So you're saying this 49 million euro is for a contractor?
Yeah, it's being wired here.
It's being wired.
Yeah. And this exactly, and this is meant for real estate. And some government officials are trying to massage the system, and it's not even one person. My investigation has closed up on number of people whose monies. Yes, you not believe this until it hits the media airspace, and you'll be shocked. But I believe that through this program, Mr. President, we hear this, because the national security is investigating this, and they are refusing to cooperate with the media. Trust me, a lot's coming about this. And this is where sometimes we talk, people don't get it. On the issue to do with Galamsey, also on investigations that we are doing. At the time when my team were on the ground doing the investigations, it was about when the president, His Excellency AKUFFO Addo, in his first tenure in office, has, if you like, decreed that if it would be that he would put his presidency on the line,
to
fight against these men. Okay, Jack, and yes, I'm getting to us how. So president is in the position battle line and so against the backdrop of fighting Galamsey. Then I'm sure this was quite political risk that the president took. But then again and again, Ubepisa said, was the president saying this to himself, interrogating himself, and also with the machinery ready to fight this and his people, the lieutenant, high-ranking government officials, municipal chief executives, district chief executives, ministers of state, were they all ready to back the president on this high drive, on this superhighway, or it was just the president saying this in a decree? For me, where we are, KSM, I'm to tell by humble appeal or by humble saying that a lot of them who were to help the president achieve this political high goal have misled him. All my president means easy for.
Okay. Let me make sure I understand what you're saying so that we can move on to the other areas. That the president did say that he's putting his presidency at stake. He's going to be a one-time president if that's going to be the cause of fighting Galamsey. Now, what you're saying is that he's not getting the backing. Are you just saying he's not getting the backing, or you're saying that
he's not getting
his office is complicit in this? Because you seem to suggest that there are high-ranking people who are complicit.
That is obvious. That is obvious. And from this program, I am daring the National Security Ministry. The National Security Ministry. Mr. President, call your National Security Minister, the National Security Coordinator, the BNI, this arm of the security architecture. Let them bring any or otherwise call it any report that they claim that they've done on the Galamsey side, many of Ghana's forest reserves. Report there.
Are you suggesting that there's a report out there by President Mim? And I said, they are giving him wrong information.
They are giving him wrong information. That, let me say it clear. They are not giving the president they call it the need to know base, because the National Security Ministry ought to debrief the president the day-to-day activities across district or communities, districts, regional capitals, and more ostensibly, what is going on in our Galamsey site. And I'm saying, are they giving the president the information that is required of? But then again and again, I'm sure the president as of now, I'm sure the president himself is aware that some elements within the national security architecture have also been accused ostensibly involved in the whole Galamsey drive. At least if they are not themselves in the forest, their surrogates are hiding in the forest, aiding and abetting. So then it becomes that this fight is like a cliche. He's not going nowhere. So
these are some very, very explosive statements, man. What do
you mean court to apply best?
So what can I say?
No, first, in the first place, may say, Mr. President, on the National Security Ministry, and produce any report to be a fact. The Galamsey menace, when producing from Rani, that's all I asked them.
Okay,
Two, I said there are some top officials at the National Security when we are aiding and abetting. Send me more BAD. But then one more in the America. Exactly. Now I'll speak for myself there. I did my own investigations with my crew. Our investigations, at the same and so many BAP and last with the think a crama or honor and some investigations many Miami near Penny, Kennedy, Japan. You try to see a home command, as I was saying, when we were just about exposing these menace, for some reasons, the National Security Minister now, Ora Kandapa, a friend no catch and say, Baba, yes, my body. Ora Kandapa make and say one freak in the Japan about this. You should just come and deny.
Number two. Or the same will be released documentary, no?
Yes, Yes.
Of Fred.
No, the National Security Minister himself, we were about to do some expose on that very day of, I think it was Monday. He knew, say, about baby visa. So Kennedy Japan called me and said, Jack, nenemo bede. Then I told him what we are about to do. He said, no, wait. Come to the office. It was in the afternoon, around 11, 12, which obviously was not even the time for me to go to the office to host the show. But because he summoned that meeting, I have to go. So I went to the office along with the documents. No, we should change the topic. KSM, you know how television production is all about. Show prep. But then to do something otherwise at the 11th hour, trust me, it was an uphill task. But then we're compelled to do so. So when I got to the office, Kennedy was there. We all sat together with my director of TV, that's the Kennedy's son. And then my producer, who is also his nephew, we all sat. And in that meeting, we had a number of discussions. I showed him some of the documents. He looked at it. And some of them, may I say, he got shocked. Because I wouldn't say there, at that time, the then minister, Dr. Frimpong Boateng, who was also the minister in charge or has the supervisory role, your forest reserves, on any document was part of the document we picked in our investigation. And one of these documents we picked that his signature was on this document. His telephone number was on this document. His son, Jojo Frimpong, was on this document. His wife, may I say, this document, we were to interrogate it further. I called Dr. Frimpong Boateng severally and overly, and he wouldn't want to come forward to answer questions on that particular document.
You told him about the investigation and what?
Yes, he knew. Frimpong Boateng knew. So somehow, then his son Jojo Frimpong came forward. Why he came forward was also on a different path.
His son came forward and said what? That
his son, not necessarily that he came forward, but because we were tracking a whole, call it a household, who we believe allegedly also knows something about this Galamsey stuff. And that for me, it was also to find out whether the minister, Mr. Frimpong Boateng, is part of the syndicate and at the same time a minister. That question keeps bothering. But something happened and we realized that his son is already in there doing his own mining. Whether it was proper mining, community mining or not, we were talking to him up to a point where his son opened up, including even open up to some cabinet meetings that his father attends, and they are talking about this mining stuff and all of that. When Jojo Frimpong got to know that, no, this guy is an investigative journalist and this is what I'm doing, then he got angry and then he cut further communications with me.
He opened up to say what? He opened up to say what? He
opened up to say what is going on in the forest reserves, water bodies and all of that, and his machinery in the forest and what he's doing. Because you know what? Many times then his son's pictures and other things that he's doing in the forest had come out, but then they had come to deny that he doesn't know anything about the mining and all of that. So we were at, more or less to say, we were at the bottom watching closely what the boy was doing. And we tried to also eavesdrop on most of his conversations and what his father has been telling him and decisions being taken at cabinet level. So we got quite a number of them. It was at this point, then we realized that a number of the NPP, or call it the governing party officials, were involved. So it's as if or as though they were not ready to go in consonance with the directives of the president. Or to say, Mr. President, when our person will fight to Galamsey, we want to do our own thing. So around this time, I know, Kennedy swim never be brave. Because party elements be crab and hobby pan. Some party elements be. Somebody like Nana B. Nana B, together with somebody, one more say DNT. No minim say Ken bet me
Pacho, did he tell you some of Panicho and you know for a fact? Were you there? Did you see them? Or he told you so Panicho?
I have that fact somewhere there quietly hidden. But
that
all I mean
for a fact that they went to
Yes, sir. One more nipa bi ban ho ebe pa ne chew abasa galam say nzemzemia ho. Almost MPP for. So, what I want to know is that was it all about okay, people will continue to beg, and then after begging, then they turn around and they are doing otherwise. So this galamsey thing that is eating this governing party, KSM, I would say it's a self-inflicted wound. It is a before. Because you can't sit here and tell me, say, that Chinese woman dropped in here and could find himself or herself in Ghana's forest reserves. Through what stuff, what kind of navigation is that? Without the aid of our municipal and district chief executives, this Aisha one, I have done this investigation on this woman somewhere, I think in the year 2015 or so. And immigration officers who took money from this woman, top officers in government who have mailed this woman, and for some reason, Mami Way could grow all the wings and could grow whatever, and was doing all sorts of things in town. And the areas is here about Ashawan or whatever her name is. Just first a kid gloves speaking.
But the latest thing was that she has been refused bail. And you think this is like
you see, they should go and tell the Maries this. I hate this hypocrisy that this top high-ranking government officials, when they have positions, then they want to make it look as if, oh, Charlie, we are fighting. I don't like this fire service approach and crisis management. You know, we fancy in the crisis management and the fire service approach. This is complete balderdash. They should go and tell the Marines. The top officers in this country know about what this woman is doing in this country. Most of top officials who have slept with this woman, and this woman has video recordings about them, are they aware? Again, it's our national security minister and the top national security architecture aware that the woman is a spy. She's an undercover agent to the Chinese government. Are they aware? And because the other two
how did you become aware that she's a top spy? Is it the back of the Hawk investigations? Where are you getting the information from that this woman is a spy for the Chinese government? Where do you have them coming from?
Yes, you see, the world continues to advance, and the world is moving in a certain fashion. You see, if you are a country at this time and you don't understand the policy driven, where you need to inculcate in your policy direction, security and intelligence role, formulate policies that guide you to be able to sense, smell, and knows that in order to succeed, it's no longer the physique, but intelligence is the key in the success of every country. In the United States, in Britain, all over. And third world countries like Ghana must also, wake up to the call. Say, it's about intelligence, though. And KSM, intelligence is across every facet of our environment. That's why in our School of Intelligence, we say it's the process that involves collection, correlation, evaluation, analysis, integration, interpretation of information on the threat to national security. So if somebody drops in your country and you are unable to put a data to navigate, to assess who this individual is, and all it's about, oh, they've come, Ghana, we have the big hubs. We are so much, we consolidate hospitality. Oh, really? No, we are not Jesus Christ. So we must be able to build a proper data on all persons, group of persons or persons coming in. How do we assess them? How do we know? America, that way. KSM, you are there. That's your hidden corner now. At the end of the day, you cannot. What do you mean, America Chronum, and decide to do anything and say, oh, media, me disturb the American people. Really, you'll be arrested. You see, until we get to understand that the national security architecture must be up in latest technology, the know-how, what it takes to,
Are you suggesting that are you suggesting that they don't have the know-how, or they do know, but for reasons they are refusing to apply it, or you think they don't have the know-how?
You know what is happening? It's not the agencies themselves. It's not the machinery. No, it's about the leadership. Did you hear that?
I heard it.
It's not about the intelligence agencies that the setup is what the issue is. No, it's about the leadership imposition. That's what it is. Okay, look, until recently, there's a push and pull at the national security architecture. Is it Lieutenant General Edu Amanfo, former national security coordinator? This man was a former director of DI, that's Defense Intelligence. And this man was moved to the national security mainstream as a coordinator. KSM, you need to read some of the document. The rift between the top brass and this individual I just mentioned. Until recently, it came out that, oh, the president has done what? Reshuffle. Rubbish. What kind of reshuffle? When you change Edu Amanfo to somewhere, blah, blah, from the national security mainstream, you push him somewhere. And even the push of Edu Amanfo from the national security mainstream is being said, allegedly orchestrated by, call it the Dankwa group or whatever it is, that one too, a source has written explosive document which soon will hit the media airspace for Ghanaians to know what actually precipitated the transfer of Edu Amanfo. You see, Ghana idea.
Okay.
Nobody tries say now, and nobody should fear anybody. We are all subservient to the laws of this country. You see, so until the security architecture would wake up to the call, there are fine men and women in the service. KSM, trust me, they are there. And this is not the first time Ghana is having national security ministers handling issues. No, the likes of Captain Kojochi Carter, we now the same call.